How to build resilience against racial trauma. Building resilience against racial trauma is essential for emotional and psychological well-being. Racial trauma refers to the mental and emotional injury caused by experiences of racism, discrimination, and systemic oppression. This type of trauma can lead to symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress disorder, including hypervigilance, intrusive thoughts, anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. To effectively build resilience, there are several strategies to consider. First, it is crucial to recognize and validate the impact of racial trauma. Understanding that this trauma is a significant form of psychological injury helps individuals acknowledge their feelings and experiences. Unlike traditional post-traumatic stress disorder, racial trauma often results from chronic, cumulative experiences rather than a single identifiable event. This recognition is vital for healing. Next, developing strong social support networks can be incredibly beneficial. Connecting with supportive family members, friends, and community groups who share similar cultural backgrounds can provide emotional safety and validation. These connections can help buffer against feelings of isolation and provide resources for coping with the effects of racial trauma. Engaging in culturally affirming practices is another effective approach. Participating in cultural traditions, spirituality, and identity-affirming activities can strengthen a sense of belonging and pride. This connection to one's ethnic and racial identity can foster resilience by reinforcing self-worth and community ties. Practicing mindfulness and stress reduction techniques is also important. Techniques such as mindfulness meditation, deep breathing, and grounding exercises can help manage symptoms of hyperarousal and anxiety linked to racial trauma. These practices support emotional regulation and can reduce physiological stress responses. When needed, seeking professional mental health support is crucial. Accessing culturally competent mental health care is important, especially when symptoms interfere with daily functioning. Therapists trained to recognize and address racial trauma can provide tailored interventions, including trauma-informed cognitive behavioral therapy and other evidence-based treatments. Advocating for systemic change and engaging in empowerment activities can transform feelings of helplessness into empowerment. Participating in social justice efforts and community activism helps address the root causes of racial trauma and fosters collective resilience. Educating oneself about racial trauma and its effects is also beneficial. Understanding the psychological and physiological impacts equips individuals to better identify symptoms and seek appropriate help. This knowledge can empower individuals to take proactive steps in their healing journey. Lastly, maintaining physical health through regular exercise, adequate sleep, and healthy nutrition supports overall resilience. These practices improve mood and reduce vulnerability to stress. In summary, building resilience against racial trauma involves recognizing it as a legitimate psychological injury, fostering supportive relationships, engaging in culturally meaningful practices, managing stress through healthy coping strategies, and seeking professional care when necessary. Empowerment through advocacy and education plays a critical role in building long-term resilience. These approaches align with current scientific understanding of racial trauma, emphasizing the need for culturally informed and trauma-sensitive care.